Guess what? We just launched a podcast. You've probably seen lots of posts over the past few years, just like this one, and are wondering, Greg, why are you telling us to create a podcast? Aren't there enough podcasts out there already? And while yes, you may be right, there are lots of podcasts. I'm going to give you 3 reasons on why you should consider specifically creating a video podcast. Starting with number 3, grow your network. Some of the best and most effective podcasts are interview-based. When you start an industry-specific podcast where you interview other professionals within your field, you are able to not only create compelling content, but it'll force you to network. As you work to produce podcast episodes, you will likely start by interviewing people that you already know. But as you grow it, you'll begin to meet new people and discover other professionals that you would like to interview. Not every person you reach out to will want to be on your podcast, but as it grows and is more successful, more and more opportunities will open up for you, and it will hopefully be a symbiotic relationship. Number 2, better engage your audience. By creating a video podcast rather than solely an audio podcast, it enables you to have a multi-platform approach. People tend to consume information in different ways. By giving them the option of both an audio or video version of your podcast, you allow the audience to decide which method of consuming will best suit them. We personally have a great love for video podcasts, as they can give you more context to the story that is being told. When you can see a person's facial expressions while they are speaking, it can tell you even more about what that story is. For example, you may not know that someone is trying to be funny just based on the tone of their voice, but when you see that smirk on their face as they say it, it gives you greater context. And our number 1 reason on why you should start a video podcast is simple: content. Everyone is looking for ways to produce more content, and creating compelling content can be hard. One of our favorite uses of video podcasts are creating short video snippets. Even though he isn't in the business space, the Joe Rogan podcast gives a great example of how to do this well. He will record a video podcast with a guest, typically ranging from 1 to 4 hours in length. Yes, you heard me right. He sometimes films a 4-hour podcast. I do not recommend that length for your business, though. He then launches the full podcast and creates anywhere from 4 to 15 short 1 to 5 minute segments that he uploads and launches separately. What this means for you is that if you film a great 30 to 60 minute podcast, listen back and find specific topics that you think your audience will be interested in. You can then launch those videos individually over the coming weeks. So one podcast episode a month could end up creating weeks worth of content. This is super valuable and can make great use of your content marketing budget. Now I know that not everyone can or should create a podcast, but we think that your team should see if this would be a great addition to your marketing strategy. When done well, a video podcast can be a great asset to your business's marketing efforts. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and if you would like help producing your video podcast, please reach out and we would love to help you. The Joe Rogan podcast can give you